Good morning to all. I am Baldev and today we will start your second chapter polynomial class 10. So first of all, what is polynomial? Polynomial means any algebraic expression, any algebraic expression which is of the type A0, An, Xn, A1, An minus 1, Xn minus 1 plus An minus 2, Xn minus 2 and up to A1 X 1 plus A1 is called polynomial of degree n. Where A0 is never equal to 0. Where An never equal to 0. And A0 An minus 2, A1, A0 are called constant. And X is called variable. This is the standard form of a polynomial. Means any expression which is of the form An xn plus An minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus An minus 2 x power n minus 2 and up to A1x plus A0 is called polynomial of degree n, where A0 never equal to 0 because when the coefficient of xn is 0, then its power is not n, then its power is n minus 1. So any expression of degree n, then A0 must be never equal to 0, where An minus 1, An minus 2 and up to A1 A0 are all said to be constant and X is said to be variable. Examples are 2x plus 3. This is called linear polynomial because its highest power is 1. So this is called linear polynomial. And when highest power is 2, for example 2x square plus 3x minus 9, then it is called quadratic polynomial. And when highest power is 3, example ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, then it is called cubic polynomial. And when highest power is 4, examples ax4 plus bx cube plus cx square plus dx plus c, then it is called biquadratic polynomial. Biquadratic polynomial. And when highest power is 5, ax5 plus bx4 plus cx cube plus dx square plus ex plus f, then it is called quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. And next, when highest power is 6, then it is called 6 degree polynomial. When 7, then 7 degree polynomial and so many. So we can say that when in any expression of degree n, then the coefficient of highest power must be never equal to 0. And in this chapter we study for only quadratic polynomial and the standard form of quadratic polynomial. Standard form of quadratic polynomials. standard form of quadratic polynomial is this is ax square plus bx plus c. This is standard form of quadratic polynomial and it can be written in the form of fx. Fx means function of x, or it can be written in the form of px. The polynomial in variable x. So we can say that px is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where px means polynomial in variable x, and when this is quadratic form, then a never equal to 0, because in highest power 2, then the coefficient of x square must be never equal to 0, and other a, b, c are any three real number belongs to a real number. Real number means all the number, yeah, all the collection of rational as well as irrational number. Means all the numbers are said to be real number. However, they are rational or irrational. Now, there is one point to be noted. The number of zero in any polynomial are always equal to degree of polynomial. The number of zeros, in any polynomial, are always equal to degree of polynomial. Suppose we have linear polynomial, then there are number of zeros 1. When we have quadratic polynomial, then number of zeros are 2. When cubic polynomial, then number of zeros are 3. When biquadratic polynomial, then number of zeros are 4. And when quintic polynomial, the number of 0 are 5. And when 6-degree polynomial, the number of 0 are 6. Conclusively, we can say that the number of zeros in any polynomial are always equal to degree of polynomial. And second concept is also noted when x equal to alpha, be any 0 of polynomial. F of x. When x equal to alpha, be any 0 of polynomial f of x, then f alpha must be equal to 0. When alpha is any 0 of the polynomial fx, then f of alpha must be equal to 0. Means this 0 must be satisfied the given polynomial. So first exercise, in exercise 2.1, we find the number of zeros with the help of graphing. So first of all, when y is equal to px is any polynomial, of variable x, then find the number of zeros, then find the number of zeros in following various situations. First question, this is x-axis and y-axis, and this point is origin where x-axis and y-axis are intersect. And then the graph is this much, y equal to px. Then what are the number of zero? Because this graph y equal to px is not cut x-axis at any point, therefore here number of zeros are 0. Next, second is this is x-axis, y-axis, and this is origin. And when graph is this much, then number of zeros are 3 because graph cut x-axis at 3 points. This is first point, this is second point, and this is third point. So number of zeros in this graph are 3. And third question is, when the graph is this much, then number of zeros. Then number of zeros are this is second point, and this is third point, this is fourth point, and this is 5 point. Because the given graph meet the x-axis or cut x-axis at 5 different points, therefore number of zeros are 5. Next, fourth part is here find the number of zeros. Here we see also the graph cut x-axis or meet x-axis at 3 different points. So here number of zeros are 3. So in this method we can directly find number of zeros. And when this question, we change this question. And when, for example, y is px, y is function of px, or y is polynomial in variable x. Then we check the graph cut x-axis or meet x-axis at that different point, which is the number of 0. For example, when any graph meet x-axis at 1 point, the number of zeros are 1. When the graph meets the curve or cut the curve at 2 points, then the number of zeros are 2. And when not cut the curve at any points, then number of zeros are 0. For example, we revise again. Here the function y equal to px not cut x-axis at any point. Therefore, number of zeros are 0. And in the second example, we see the given curve cut x-axis at 3 different points. Therefore, number of zeros are 3. And in third question, we see the curve cut the x-axis at 5 different points. Therefore, number of zeros are 5. And in the fourth example, we see the curve cut x-axis at 3 different points. Therefore, number of zeros are 3. And when this statement will be changed, and we have this type when x is function of y, or x is a polynomial in variable y, then find the number of 0. Then we check its y in opposite condition. In opposite condition means if we see the graph in which point cut y-axis. When the graph cut y-axis at 1 point, then there are number of 0 or 1, and when no cut y-axis, then number of zeros are 0, and similarly. For example, we see the different example of this type. X-axis, and this is y-axis, and that point is origin. Origin is that point where x-axis and y-axis are perpendicularly cuts each other. And when the graph is this much, okay, then because we see the graph cut y-axis at 4 different points. This is 1 point, second point, third point, and this is fourth point. So here number of zeros are 4. And when the graph is this much, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is origin. Here the graph cut y-axis at only 1 point. Therefore, number of zeros are 1. And in this question we see, suppose this much line, and here the given curve cut y-axis at also only 1 point. Therefore, number of zeros are 1. And when this is of the type, and in this example we see the curve cut y-axis at 3 different points. First point, second point, third point. Therefore, number of for 0 are 3. It means we can say that the number of zeros are depends upon the given polynomial is with variable of x or y. When the given polynomial in variable of y, then we find the number of 0 y checking the point of intersection of y-axis as well as the given curve. And when y is function of x, then we find the points, means find the number of 0 by checking the point of intersection or point of contact of x-axis as well as a given curve. So this topic is complete. In exercise 2.2, its first question is find the zeros of the given polynomials. And also verify the relation between zeros and polynomial. Zeros and coefficient of polynomial. So its first part is x square minus 2x minus 8. So in this part, first of all, we find the zero of this polynomial and also verify the relation between zero and the coefficient of the polynomial. And in this question, first of all, we want to find its zero. Zero means to factorize the given equations. To factorize, first of all, product. If we multiply first and last term, and we obtain after product, it will make minus 8, and after addition, after sum, it will be equal to minus 2. In this process, it is said to be split the middle term. It can be solved by method of factorization, or it is also said to be split the middle term. And in this method, we multiply the coefficient of first and last term. And by multiplying the coefficient of first and last term, we obtain 1 into minus 8. This is minus 8. So for product, it will be made minus 8. And by addition, it will be made minus 2. This is coefficient of x. So we can say that here we find any that two factor having product is minus 2 and sum is, having product is minus 8 and sum is minus 2. So they are minus 4 and plus 2. Because when we product minus 4 and 2, then it will make minus 8, and when we add minus 4 and 2, then it will be equal to minus 2. So these are correct factors of 8. So it can be written as x square minus 4x plus 2x, because this method of factorization are said to be split the middle term. So in this method, the first term and last term is additive, and only we change the second term. Minus 2x can be written in the form of minus 4x plus 2x. When we check this minus 4x plus 2x, then this is also equal to minus 2x. And then we take the common first two term and last two term. And x is common from first two term. So x minus 4 and 2 is common from last two term, then which is also equal to x minus 4. And in this method, we check always these two terms are always same. When here x minus 4, then here must be x minus 4. So x minus 4 is common factor and another factor is x plus 2. Why putting 0 these two numbers? When x minus 4 equal to 0, then we get x equal to 4. And when x plus 2 equal to 0, then we get x equal to minus 2. Therefore, 4 and minus 2 are 0 of given polynomial. Therefore, 4 and minus 2 are 2 zeros. Are 2 zeros of given polynomial. Now we find the relation between zeros and coefficient, and in this polynomial the coefficient of x square is 1 and coefficient of x is minus 2 and constant term is minus 8, and this relation is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b cot A, and alpha into beta is equal to c cot A. Means sum of root equal to minus b cot A and product of roots equal to c cot A. And when we compare the given equation with the standard form, and its standard form is compare x square minus 2x minus 8. Given equation in standard form, ax square plus bx plus c. So we get a equal to 1, b equal to minus 2 and c equal to minus 8. And these two zeros are said to be alpha and beta. So first of all, alpha plus beta equal to minus 3. What is alpha? Alpha is 4 and beta is minus 2. Alpha beta means the zero of the polynomial, and these are 4 and minus 2. So this is 4 plus minus 2. And what is b? b is here minus 2 and a is 1. So we check 4 plus minus 2. 4 minus 2 plus and minus minus. And this is 2 upon 1. Minus and minus plus. 4 minus 2, 2. 2 equal to 2. And this is 2. So relation is verified. And second relation, alpha into beta. What is the value of alpha? The value of alpha is 4 and the value of beta is minus 2. And then C, the value of C is minus 8 and the value of A is 1. 4 into minus 2 minus 8, minus 8.1 is also equal to minus 8, and which is also 2, because in both relation we check LHS equal to RHS. This here LHS is 2 and RHS is also 2, and in this relation LHS is minus 8 and RHS is minus 8. So we can say that both the relations are true. Therefore, the relation is verified. The relation is verified. We select more examples of its second part. Question number 1. This is 4s square minus 4s plus 1. In this question also we find the zero of the polynomial and also verify the relation between zero and coefficients of the polynomial. So first of all, we find the zero of this polynomial, and to find the zero of quadratic polynomial, this process is also method of factorization or separate the middle term. So according to this rule, we multiply the coefficient of first and last term. So here first term the coefficient is 4 and last term is 1. So 4 into 1, 1. So we can say that we find any two factor having product is 4 and sum is minus 4. Sum is the coefficient of s. So here we find that types of two factors whose product is 4 and sum is minus 4, and that suitable factors are minus 2 and minus 2. Because when multiplied minus 2 and minus 2, then it will equal to 4, and when we adding minus 2 and minus 2, then it will equal to minus 4. So these are the suitable factors. So it can be written in the form 4s square minus 2s plus 1. Or now we take first common from first to term. And in this process we check. This is said to be split the middle term. So first term is additive, second, third term is additive, and split the middle term. Only middle term can be separated. And we check also minus 4s can be written minus 2s and minus 2s. The first and last term is additive. Now, secondly, we check, we take common from first to term, and we check the common from first to term is 2. So it will 2s minus 1, and next two term is common minus 1. This is also 2s minus 1, because when here the factor is 2s minus 1, then here must be factor is 2s minus 1. So from the last two term we take common minus 1. Here common is 2s. So this is equal to 2s minus 1 is common factor, and remaining factor is 2s minus 1. And these two factors are suitable factor of a given polynomial. And by putting term by term, these two factors equal to 0. First 2s minus 1 equal to 0. Secondly also 2s minus 1 equal to 0. We get 2s equal to 1. Therefore s equal to 1 by 2. And in secondly also s equal to 1 by 2, because both are same factors. So alpha is 1 by 2 and beta is also 1 by 2. Next we find the relation. And the relation is alpha plus beta equal to minus b upon a, and alpha into beta is equal to c upon a. And by comparing the given polynomial with standard form, and the standard form is ax square plus bx plus c. We check a equal to 4, b equal to minus 4, and c equal to 1. Therefore, by putting the value of ABC and alpha beta in the given relation, sum of roots equal to minus b upon a, and product of roots equal to c upon a. And here alpha is 1 by 2, beta is 1 by 2, and b is minus 4, and a is 4. Half plus half 1, and 4 are cut, and minus plus 1. This is also true. So relation is verified. Second, alpha into beta equal to c upon a means product of roots is equal to c upon a. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, and what is the value c? The value of c is 1 and the value of a is 4. 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 2, 1 by 4 is equal to 1 by 4. This is also true. So both the relation sum of roots equal to minus b upon a and product of roots equal to c upon a are true. Therefore we can say that the given relation is verified. And its third part is same this question. Find the zeros of the polynomial, also verify the relation between 0 and polynomial. So in this question we see this is not in proper standard form, because in proper standard form, first of all the term is x square, and secondly term is x, and then thirdly is term of constant. So in this question we see first of all we write in the given polynomial proper way, and its proper way is 6x square minus 7x minus 3, and this is required standard form of the type ax square plus bx plus c, because this is standard form of a quadratic polynomial. And here we check a equal to 6, b equal to minus 7, and c equal to minus 3. And now we find the zero of this polynomial. To find the zero polynomial, first of all we factorize the polynomial, and to factorize its matrix by product the coefficient of first and last term. We check 6 into minus 3, 6 into minus 3 minus 18, and by adding by sum minus 7. So here we find any two factors of 18 whose product is 18 and sum is minus 7, and these two factors are minus 9 and 2. because when we product minus 9 and 2, then it will be minus 18, and when by adding minus 9 and 2, and then we get minus 7. So we can say that minus 9 and 2 are suitable factor of given quadratic polynomial. Now it can be written 6x square minus 9x plus 2x minus 3. And we check also, or we see also, the first term is as it is, last term is as it is, and we only split the middle term, that is minus 7x can be written in the form minus 9x plus 2x. Next, we take common first two term and last two term, and common in first two term is 3x, so 2x minus 3, and next two term is common 1, and next is also 2x minus 3. So common factor is 2x minus 3, and remaining factor is 3x plus 1. Now we find the 0 by put these two factors turn by turn 0. When we put 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, therefore 2x is equal to 3, therefore x equal to 3 by 2. And when we put 3x plus 1 equal to 0, this implies 3x is equal to minus 1, this implies x equal to minus 1 by 3. And these two zeros, one is said to be alpha and other is said to be beta. They depends upon our side. We take this is also alpha and this is take beta. Now we check the relation or we verify the relation. And in the condition of relation, alpha plus beta equal to minus b upon a, and alpha into beta equal to c upon a. And now we put in the value of alpha, beta, a, b, c in the given relation. And what is the value of alpha? This is 3 by 2. The value of alpha is 3 by 2, and value of beta minus 1 by 3. Minus b, b means minus 6, 7, sorry. Value b minus 7, and value of a is 6. And here LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, and 6 is divided by 2, then we get 3, and 3 is multiplied by 3. So this is 9. Plus and minus minus, and when we divided 6 by 3, we get 2, and 2 is multiplied by 1. This is 2. And which is minus and minus plus 7 upon 6. 9 minus 2, 7 upon 6 is equal to 7 upon 6. This is 2. And in second part, product of 0 equal to c upon a. And value of alpha is 3 by 2, multiplied value of beta is minus 1 by 3, value of c is minus 3, and value of a is 6. So we get 3 and 3 cut out, and this is minus 1 by 2, and 3 1 the 3, 3 2 the 6. This is also minus 1 by 2. So LHS equal to RHS in the second condition. So which is also true. So we can say that the relation is verified. And this another example is fourth part. Here the quadratic polynomial is given by 4u square plus 8u. 4u square plus 8u, because in this quadratic polynomial the three terms are not prime. So we can solve it directly, means without factorization, without split the middle term. When in any quadratic equation the three terms are not prime, then it can be solved directly. For example, we see this example 4u square plus 8u, and directly we see here the common is 4u. So which can be written this is u plus 2. And these two are directly we obtain the factor. First factor is 4u and second factor is u plus 2. And we put by turn these two factors are 0. First when 4u equal to 0, then u equal to 0 upon 4, 0. And secondly when we put u plus 2 equal to 0, then we get u equal to minus 2. So we obtain 2 0, first 0 and second is minus 2. First is said to be alpha and second is said to be beta. And when we compare the polynomial 4u square plus 8u with standard form. With standard form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. We get a equal to, for a means coefficient of x square and here coefficient of u square, b means coefficient of x and here coefficient of u. So b equal to 8 and c means constant term. Constant term is that term which is independent from variable and here constant term is not present, so which is equal to 0. So we can say that here c is 0. Now we check the relation and we know the relation is sum of 0 is minus b upon a and product of 0 is c upon a. Now we put the value turn by turn alpha beta as well as abc. So first of all alpha is this is 0 and plus beta is minus 2 and value b is 8 minus LD, value b is 8 and value a is 4 and 0 plus minus means minus. So this is y cut 4 by 8 2, so this is minus 2 and 0 minus 2 equal to minus 2, which is 2. And the second is product of 0, alpha into beta equal to c upon a. And what is alpha? This is 0 and what is beta? This is minus 2 and c, the value of c is 0 and value of a is 4. 0 multiplied by any number we get 0. 0 divided by any number we get 0. This is also true. So this relation is also verified. Now we take its last example, which is also not in proper standard form, and when any polynomial in standard form, that is any polynomial in which all the three terms are present, is said to be complete quadratic polynomial, and any polynomial in which all the three terms are not present. In these three terms only any term, either term of x or term of constant is missing, then this is said to be incomplete quadratic polynomial. For example, in this polynomial we see the term of c is not present, so it is said to be incomplete quadratic polynomial. And in incomplete quadratic polynomial we find directly 0 by using the method to split the middle term. We see its second example here minus 15, and in this question is also first of all to find the 0 of the polynomial and secondly find the relation between the 0 and coefficient of the polynomial. And in this polynomial we see which is also incomplete quadratic polynomial because here the term of x is not present or the all three terms are not present. And to solve this question is very easy. It will be factorized directly because 15 can be written root 15 whole square. 15 can be written in the form of root 15 whole square because square and square root are always cancelled out. Okay? And we know the formula a square minus b square, and which is equal to a minus b multiplied by a plus b. So we using this formula we get which is equal to a minus b and into a plus b. So here we obtain two factors without split the middle term, and now we put turn by turn these two factors are 0. When we put first factor t minus root 15 is equal to 0, we get t equal to root 15, and when we put second factor t plus root 15 is equal to 0, we get t equal to minus root 15, and first is said to be alpha and second 0 is said to be beta. So here alpha is root 15 and beta is minus root 15. Now compare the given polynomial with standard form of quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, we get a equal to 1 and b equal to 0 because a means coefficient of x square and here coefficient of t square, and that is 1, and b is coefficient of x and here b is coefficient of t, and because there is no term containing t, so b is 0, and c means constant term means without x and here without t, so constant term is minus 15. Because the definition of constant polynomial is any term which is independent from variable is said to be constant term. And it is to be noted the degree of constant term is always 1. Now we prove the relation sum of roots is equal to minus b upon a and product of roots is equal to c upon a, and alpha is root 15 and beta is minus root 15. This is alpha root 15, this is beta minus root 15 and minus b. What is b here? B, the value of b is 0 and a is 1. Root 15 plus and minus. This is plus root 15, this is minus root 15. Both are cancelled out. So this is equal to 0 and this is minus 0. And minus 0 means actually plus 0 because minus 0 and plus 0 are always equal. It has same value and which is 0. Next second relation is product of 0 equal to c upon a. And product of 0, what is alpha? Alpha is root 15 and beta is minus root 15. And c upon a, what is c here? C is minus 15 and a is 1. Minus root 15 into root 15. This is 15 and this is minus 15 upon 1 is also equal to minus 15. So we check here LHS equal to RHS in second condition and in first condition also LHS equal to RHS. Both conditions are true, so relation is verified.